Morning, everyone, and welcome again to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great day. Thus far, I'll wait till a few folks come on here with us and say hello. And again, here we go. We got some folks coming. Okay, Mike. First one on this morning from Wawa, Bonnie, Laurie, John, our friend from Elgin, Illinois. Keith and Christine from Labrador City. Wow. Michelle and Eric and Nativity and Jerry from Nouveau Brunswick and Joseph. Hold on a minute. Christy from Labrador City. Keith, how are you this morning? I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Laurie and Nick, Sharon, Arlene, Debbie. And I'll come on afterwards and say hello. Rebecca, Wanda, and Raja, Sylvie, Joan, Iwana, Andrea, Lucy from Sarnia. Good to have you on, Lucy. Evelyn, Susan, and Nellie, how are you? Linda, Muriel, Yolanda, Sandra, Lise. You guys are great. Kim, thanks for watching from Kippawa. I was actually supposed to be in Kippawa to do a seminar, but COVID canceled everything. Guess what we're talking about this morning? Angelina, how are you? And Gail. Okay, I'll come on and otherwise I'll be here all morning saying hello, which again, we really appreciate. I'm titling this live here this morning, soon to be a podcast, Not Thinking Past Our Noses. Not thinking past our noses. I sort of mentioned this yesterday. We're going to talk about two articles that came out. One on National Public Radio and the other one in the Daily Mail, United Kingdom. And their headline is, Lockdown is Deadly. The unintended consequences of the lockdown. The unintended consequences. Now, I could give you, my thoughts, and I will. But let me give you the combination of both articles and what they said. Here's what's increased. Okay? Headaches, nausea, hair loss. People are losing their hair by the bundles, according to the articles. Thyroid, shingles, way up. We'll talk about that in a minute. Cold sores, way up. Stomach problems, way up. Huge increase in heart attacks. We talked about this, an enormous increase in depression, anxiety, increase in suicides and overdoses. It's like an epidemic here where I'm coming from, of overdoses. Dentists are talking about cracked teeth and TMJ problems with the jaw, clenching the teeth. Allergies, autoimmune are up. Doctors are speculating that one thing that's really gone up is the misdiagnosis of cancer. Now, if this is your first time on, I'm going to share this with you, but for others, you know where I'm coming from. The problem in medicine, as far as cancer, cardiovascular too, and a lot of other things, is They're really more into what they call early detection, especially in cancer. I'm more into prevention. I'd rather you not get it. But I agree with them that, people were scared to go to the hospital. You couldn't get a hold of your doctor for a lot of people. You might be able to, have Zoomed with your doctor or FaceTimed with your doctor or a doctor on the telephone, and I guess that's better than nothing. But generally, medicine, and I've been screaming about this from day one, and God bless the infectious disease guys, okay? Public health officials. This has been, it's a pandemic. And you can understand if you're trained in pandemics, like public health officials and infectious disease people, like Tony Fauci, for example, that's their training. They prepare for things like this. And to them, the virus is everything. It doesn't matter. It's everything. What bothers me is the lack of response. Now, we're getting some, and it's certainly getting louder now, but the lack of response from all other kinds of doctors. I'm just surprised that the American Psychiatric Association, or psychiatry, whatever they call themselves, why the heck have they not made a huge announcement? I mean, if this many people, and it's well established. Depression, anxiety, which was bad before March. It wasn't good before March, but now it's horrendous, according to these new studies. We're not thinking past our noses. Now, that doesn't mean we shouldn't have taken the virus seriously. I've tried to keep you guys updated, what you can do. I mean, the world says, wash your hands, wear a mask, and whatever, social distance and whatever. I was talking more about let's build our immune system so that you and I, whether we get the virus or not, we'd rather not get it, but even if we do, we'll be asymptomatic, mostly. And these are just statistics, so don't beat me up. If you're under 80, you had about a 99-point-something% recovery rate. You weren't going to die. And they talked about, let's flatten the curve. They closed the world down. The world was brought to its knees by a virus. I like it. I've told you many times. I'm not a prophet nor the son of one, because I certainly would have never predicted. Tony Jr., he was much more of a prophet than his dad, I can tell you. He said, Dad, you watch what they do. I said, nah, they're not going to do that. They did it. I never thought for a minute they closed businesses or, and I got pet peeves too. Like when they close a gym, that's the craziest thing in the world, is to close gyms. But you see, when the virus is everything, nothing else matters. In our province here, down south, there's still some areas now you can't go into a restaurant. You have to eat outside. It's stinking near the end of October, for heaven's sakes. I don't know about climate change because we didn't get the memo in Sudbury or in Canada for that matter. I was looking on Facebook yesterday. My hometown, Timmins, got a snowstorm, lots of it. But that's not unusual. And it's coming to a theater near me because it's coming here too. And we're just a little bit south of them. Right? Look. But here we are. Imagine, and let me just say something about cancer that you know. Medicine is worried about early detection. Right? That's their training. I get it. They want to detect cancer early. And I'm not saying I'm against it. But medicine is saying, in general, this has been a disaster for cancer. And as I explained, I think it was last week, we ain't seen nothing yet, honey. Wait. In my opinion. You wait to the amount of, breast cancer is like a scourge in our society. It's unbelievable that 1 out of 7, 1 out of 6 women are going to get breast cancer. 1 out of 4 men are going to get prostate cancer. And now, because the virus is everything, squirt, 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 you're squirting estrogen on your hands. All those chemicals are estrogen. Your body thinks it's estrogen. And you're a woman, and your body is going, woo, 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 come here, estrogen, I like you. You and me get along. Because I'm a woman. The problem is, it affects men too. Because estrogen is a growth hormone. We're not thinking past our nose. Constantly. I know some people said to me online that, Doc, I work in a hospital. And I got to use this stuff all the time. I feel for you, man. Because you don't drop dead right away. But it's down the road. It's down the road. But we're already seeing anxiety, depression, suicides, overdoses. It's crazy. I'm going to tell you about, we're not thinking past our nose. Kids who are not, look, every study has shown. Kids, this virus, they swat it off like a fly. It doesn't hurt them. It doesn't affect them. We want to be so careful, and I get it. I know if you're an infectious disease doctor, you can't let go. You just, we got to watch. I know, but these kids got to live. My grandson was telling me last night. He said, Grandpa, I'm so tired of wearing a mask all the time. What is it, 6 hours or so, or whatever they spend in school, they have to wear the mask all day. Guys, that's not normal for kids. We're not thinking past our noses. What kind of anxiety, what kind of mental health issues are we going to see down the road? I told you yesterday, I'm a people person, But everybody, to some extent, is a people person. You know, some people not less than others, but you're not meant to live alone. You're meant to smile. I'm worried about kids. This isn't good for them. They canceled pretty well all their sports. And they're just starting to start up, and they put rules in place that are just, it's craziness. But if the virus is up here and everything else is down here, that's what happens. We're not thinking past our nose. So I talked to you about cancer because of the amount of estrogen. And listen, cortisol, a little refresher, cortisol is your stress hormone. It was meant to have a part-time job. And the world is saying it, not me. They're just confirming what I've been saying. There's nothing that will suppress your immune system more than cortisol. Why? Because it's the fight or flight. Your body is not thinking immunity. It's thinking of running or hitting or fighting. Your immune system takes a hit. Because cortisol, it's to get you ready to, you're behind me scaring me. I'm going to, the hairs on my back of my head are, but it's not meant to go on because what does it do? It suppresses the immune system. We're not thinking past our noses. You know how much, you see, cortisol will take inflammation and it will pour gasoline on it. And I think we all know the effects of inflammation. It destroys blood vessels. It starts to change chemistry in your body. It affects your cells. It decreases your immunity. This is why, I tell you, I'll just give you an example. I talked to you about, this is not my statistic, shingles. You know what shingles is? It's the herpes virus, the chicken pox. When your immune system is good, you get the chicken pox as a kid, and your immune system says, now you see that there, Mr. Herpes virus? Stay quiet, and I don't want to see you. You're there, but stay quiet. But I always tell people with shingles and why it's an epidemic, and the world is saying, not me, the world is saying that wait, because it's like shingles is like crazy today. Why is that? Because I've never seen a case of shingles, I mean this, that didn't have the perfect storm to it. Meaning stress. Long time. Not meant to go on for a long time. It suppresses the immune system. Now the herpes virus says, I'm coming out. And without any warning, whoop, it's there. And shingles is never any fun. Cold sores. I saw somebody being interviewed on TV the other day. They had a little bit of a cold sore. They try, they get makeup and they try and cover it up. I said, that girl is under stress. It's just part of the herpes virus. Your body keeps it down. But that's a big issue for viruses. So the very thing, corona is what? A virus. Yeah. If you're immune, that's why I'm trying to get your immune system always to be on guard. Your T cells. Right? So keep it in mind that we're not thinking past our noses. It's an unfortunate situation that we're in. But I'm preaching to you so that you be watchful for family members, loved ones. They might be coming apart at the seams. Be careful, watch for that. We need to communicate with each other. I'm a big guy for going for a coffee. Talking. It's wonderful. Anyway. So what cortisol does, it really suppresses the immune system. Secondly, it creates inflammation is already there. It will take inflammation and pour gasoline on it. I'll tell you something, especially in men. When men get heart attacks, generally, their cholesterol is within normal limits. What they get is they got a lot of stress in their lives. And men, I'm talking in generalities, are poor communicators. Right? In general, they're not communicators. They keep things in. That has a major effect on cortisol. And cortisol creates inflammation. It can attack the heart. Never mind what it does to cancer. It puts, like I said, I think I mentioned this as we did the breast cancer podcast in 2 sessions. Breast cancer takes off with stress. So we haven't seen nothing yet. Never mind the amount of estrogen. Because you go to the grocery store or whatever, they're spraying like I've never seen sprayed. Even at the restaurant. You want to support the restaurants. Like those tables. The virus, 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 the virus. They're not thinking about what that does to you. To them. I feel sorry for people. They've got to clean. And I understand it. I understand they're made to do it. But that's not good for you. I don't care. It's not. I told you about the poor little girl. I was going into a shop and I don't know. I just got uptight. I felt sorry for her. She was wrestling me to put that chemical stuff. I said, I got my own. As I pulled out my oil of oregano spray. I said, you shouldn't be putting those chemicals on you. I felt sorry for the little young lady. She doesn't know. She thought I was crazy. Well, I had a mask on too, so she didn't know if I was going to rob the store or just go in to be a shopper. Oh. We live in unusual times. Oh, boy. Oh. Use your own spray. If I can get the message out to you guys. Anyway. Listen to this statistic. I read this yesterday. Cancer rates are skyrocketing in people under 35. Well, an earlier statistic said that 1 out of 3 people in their lifetime will get cancer. Will get that diagnosis. 1 out of 3. That's incredible. We're certainly not winning the war on cancer. But this one was saying, cancer rates are skyrocketing in people under 35. Wow. I'll tell you. Food, insulin. Young people are in a perfect storm. They don't eat well. They eat way too many carbohydrates. Young people are up to 200 pounds of sugar a year. Young people are stressed. You know, they communicate by text. They never sit down and talk to each other. My grandchildren kind of laugh at Grandpa, you know. No, I want to talk. I can text, but I'd rather talk. All their communications. I want to talk. You need to talk. It's therapy. There's no therapy in texting. But isn't that a crazy statistic? Cancer rates are skyrocketing in people under 35. They don't eat well. They got elevated insulin. They got elevated estrogen because of all the crazy chemicals. They got elevated cortisol because they don't communicate and they're under a lot of pressure. And it's social media. Those young people are in a perfect storm. They're in a perfect storm. Cancer rates are going crazy. Remember, insulin and estrogen are growth hormones. And a lot of young people, they buy the lie. They don't eat anything but eyeballs. That's a huge mistake. You will not have a good immune system without eating eggs, meat, and cheese. I'm sorry. You know what Galatians 4:16 says? Have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? I tell that to young people. Am I your enemy because I tell you the truth? Sorry. I'm going to tell you the truth. Not propaganda. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Okay, guys. Tomorrow is question and answer. Send in your questions. We'll try and answer all of them tomorrow. If you're not a member of the Martin Clinic private Facebook group, please join that group. It's a wonderful group. What else? Share this. We appreciate it. We're up to over 60,000 that follow us on Facebook. That is an incredible number. We love that. Thank you so much for that, by the way. It's you guys. Who would I talk to if I didn't have you? Okay. Let's think past our noses. I know you do. I appreciate that. Love you.